we're having a real good weekend. We're getting to know the players are getting to know us as individuals, us in terms of some of the things that we hold near and dear, some cultural things. And so from that standpoint, man, we're really excited. We got a limited number of guys, so we're cautious about the amount of work that we put them through or the type of work that we put them through. But all in all, it's been highly productive. You know, our goals are to get an assessment of conditioning and for them to have an opportunity to display their conditioning, to do some teaching and learning, to understand how they take in information individually and collectively, to deliver information to them, to utilize all our teach tools in an effort to get to know them from a teaching and learning perspective, to talk about some of the details associated with play at this level, whether it's rule changes relative to the college game or required detail relative to their positions to have success, hand usage, et cetera. We've done a real good job with that. And lastly, to foster some togetherness, to acknowledge that this is the ultimate team game and to expose them to some of the things that we hold near and dear in terms of team development or team cohesion development. And so it's been a good weekend. I like the energy and attention to detail of the guys. I'm sure bigger challenges lie ahead, but we're excited to be starting. Questions?
Joe Rudder.
Yeah, Mike, just what was your initial thoughts of how Najee Harris looked and, the way he reported and what you thought of him initially?
I think he is as highly conditioned as anybody out there, and that's a great place to begin. I think he's got a nice foundation from that perspective. He's a sharp guy. He's a football guy. You can tell he's passionate about football. He can articulate the game very well. So it's a lot to be excited about.
Dale Lawley.
Mike, you mentioned getting to see these guys for the first time this weekend. What is your expectation on when you'll get to see them again after this?
By rule, man, we'll be able to continue with these guys tomorrow on Monday. And so that's our level of expectation, and we look forward to it.
Noah Strackbean.
Hey, Coach. What did you see that you liked or didn't like from some of the undrafted guys that were here this weekend? And did anyone make a strong first impression?
I hadn't spent a lot of time focused on things I don't like. Like I outlined at the very beginning, we're just trying to get an assessment of conditioning, get an assessment of how they learn and how to teach them, to talk about some details relative to their positions and to work on teamwork. So, it's more about those things than to assess the things that you like or don't like. It's just much too early for that.
Brooke Pryor.
Yeah, Mike, you talked about fostering togetherness. How much better do you know this rookie class at this point this year than you did a year ago when everything was still virtual and you were having to get to know guys through Zoom?
It's still very similar, to be honest with you. Last year had the benefits of the combine and the interviews associated with the combine prior to being shut down. This year we had the pro days, but no combine. There's challenges in this environment. I'm comfortable with the get to know at this point. But I could say the same about where I was relative to circumstance a year ago.
Brian Batko. Not coming through. Go ahead with Tim Benz.
Mike, I was wondering, so far with Harris and Freiermuth, if you're getting a sense of how they might weave in with what Matt Canada is thinking big picture with your offense and sort of what the ripple effect is then for your four good wide receivers that you have.
I don't know that we're there yet. Like I mentioned, we're just getting to know them and doing some introductory things. I think as the days and weeks continue to unfold and we get a sense of how they learn and an up close perspective on their talents, those will be more significant questions. And I think the blending of the rookies with the veteran guys are a big component of that. When they're just working with the rookies, that's somewhat of a waste of time. I think really we're just looking at them in terms of what they're doing relative to this group, the people we have in front of us right now.
Mark Caboli.
Hey, Mike, you did a lot in the offseason to address the running game personnel and coaching staff. In your mind, have you done enough? And what point do you know if you've done enough to address it?
We're just beginning to work. We're just beginning the team development process. We're just beginning the opportunity to have an opportunity to work with the men day to day on skills relative to that aspect of play. So we're far from a finished product or even assessing needed improvements in that area.
Brian Batko.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Great. Yes.
All right. I was going to ask Mike, when you say Najee can articulate the game well for a young guy, what are some examples of that? And can you notice that more in a rookie camp like this where there are fewer guys out there?
Absolutely. It's more noticeable just simply because there's not a lot of people to work with. He's getting an opportunity to work one-on-one with Coach Faulkner at the running back position, and it provides plenty of opportunity for him to verbalize his knowledge and things of that nature. I think you teach a little bit differently when you don't have numbers. You talk as opposed to do in an effort to preserve. So he's had plenty of opportunities to display what I outlined.
Did you have any expectations coming into the 2-day camp here, and what have you gotten out of it?
Oh, expectations? No, I mean, I have no expectations. I just came in here really just to learn the offense. It is a new offense, so just came to learn and bond with some of the guys here, of course, in the mini camp. But main goal is just to get better each day, though. That's it.
Brooke Pryor, ESPN.
Yeah, hey Najee, you mentioned meeting teammates, but you're also getting to know your coaches. It looked like you and Mike Tomlin had some time to talk during stretch. What have you learned about him maybe that you didn't know before now that you're getting to work with him, more on a daily one-on-one basis?
Yeah, I'll say one thing that I got taken away so far from him is he's really a people's person. He really takes time out of his day to really get to know the players that he's drafted and that who he has. And he really just looks for the best, looks out and really just really cares for the players. You could tell by just the way he even comes in the locker room and chops it up with people. And he always has a ball of energy. So a lot of people just feed off of that. So he's somebody that it's easy to want to play for, because he's such a likable person.
Mark Cavalli, The Athletic.
Hey, Najee, speaking of the offense and learning a new one, is it any way similar to that of what you did in Alabama? Or anything specifically you could point to that is the same?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that's actually similar. It's just different, different terminology, but the same meaning at the end of the day. It's different. A lot of stuff that what they'll do is different names for what we'll do, but it all means the same stuff. A lot of things that's similar is probably how they're going to, I guess, line me up out wide and stuff like that, how I did in college. Just utilize the running back in the passing game out wide and slot out wide at the, X position. You guys get a better understanding of what I'm saying. And the schemes of the runs, the inside zone, the outside zone, the power plays, the one back power, the duo plays. So, just a lot of what they're doing in their offense really resembles a lot of what we did. Just putting the players in the best position to make a play and really not doing too much thinking, just fast playing. The more you think, the slower you play. So it seems like they're trying to make everything as easy as possible so the players could just play fast and really use the best of their ability.
Brian Batko, Post-Gazette.
Najee, obviously by the end of your time at Bama, you had grown into a leader for that team. Is that a role that you try to carry over here with this rookie class, or is it more just you're new to and you're kind of trying to blend in at this point in the process?
Well, I would never try to blend in nowhere. I try to stand out my own way because I'm me, so I feel like I always stand out. But just becoming a leader wise, that's something that I feel like just comes in time. It's not something that I barely even know the offense. I ain't met the veterans aren't here, of course, so I haven't met them. So trying to move at a fast pace. It's just it's all about taking things step by step, and then when it comes to that point where it's time to become a leader, then it is. But as of now, that's not something I'm really thinking about. It's just really learn the offense and learning my teammates, learning what type of person they are and really bonding with them. So, I can become someone they could trust, and then, actually try to find ways to help them out if I can. And then, from there, what happens.
Jenna Hunter, PXI.
Najee, I know it's obviously very early, but just what is your first taste of life in the NFL been like?
mean, I think it's too early to tell for that too. Right now, it's just rookies here, so we're all kind of in the same boat. We're all just like finding our way. You know what I'm saying? We're just now leaving the nest. People will say, So, I mean, it's what I tell you. One thing is we got a hell of free time compared to Alabama. That's one thing I knew for sure. So I mean, that's cool. So now we get to I have all this extra time, so now I can spend more time in the training room. I can spend more time, just getting my little things right, not stuff on the field. So, that's a big thing I'll say that's changed in my football career so far. But, like I said, we're all new here. We're all in the same boat, So, I mean, you ask me that question when these veterans come back, then I'll tell you.
Wally, DK.
Najee, you mentioned the passing game and making plays. We saw you today with a one-handed catch. Also nearly come down with one that was thrown.
Oh, you saw that?
I saw that. And then you almost caught one that was thrown behind.
You guys were here?
We were there watching, yeah.
Where are you guys at?
We were up on the balcony. But
man, I thought y'all was boosters. What the hell? That's crazy.
But so are those things that you feel like maybe 2 years ago you might not have been able to do that make those kind of plays? Is that why you went back to Alabama that last year to get better in that part of your game?
Bro, what? Where are you from? Did you always cover Pittsburgh Steelers?
Yeah.
God damn. Well, I tell you, I mean, I always been catching the ball, man. The reason why I say it is because every time somebody
I'm talking about the one-handed catch, and you nearly caught the one behind.
I always do that.
Okay.
I always do that.
All right.
Not to brag or nothing, but it's like what the heck? Like, I mean, you think it wasn't luck? I can tell you that since y'all was watching. I'll do it again for you. Nah, I'm gonna get in trouble. But I mean, like, it's not something I work on. It's just, I mean, I've been doing that since like middle school. I mean, it's just, I got big hands, man.
Noah Strackbean, Sports Illustrated.
What's going on, Najee? What are your our initial thoughts on Matt Canada and Coach Faulkner?
Oh man, the way they utilize, I guess, their players, and I guess really just how they have the whole scheme of everything. It's good for that's somebody you can really learn off of, especially being a rookie like me. I'm going to do as much as I can to learn from them, just like how I'm learning with Coach Falk in the running back room. I'm going to do this the same with them. Just trying to learn everything really about the whole program and, ins and out of the offense though. I'm still learning right now, so I'm just trying to be a sponge as much as I can.
Last 4 questions. We're going to go to Tim Ben's Trib.
Najee, you getting much of a sense yet from Coach Canada and Coach Tomlin about short yardage and goal line for you, how committed they are to the run in those aspects, and to you specifically?
Oh, wait, what was your question? I was looking at their microphone. Are you on a podcast right now?
Yeah, we do a podcast out of this. Yeah, I'm in the pod.
Oh, that's dope. Okay. I got distracted. What did you say though?
The commitment to running the ball, short yardage, and goal line, and you being a part of that, is that because you're here now, do you think they'll be more committed to running the ball in short yardage and in the red zone?
Well, I mean, I don't call the plays, but what I can do is if they do call on me, I will make the most of it and my opportunity. So I mean, I'm here, I guess, to help that. But like I said, I'm not the coordinator, neither am I the head coach, neither am I the GM. So, I don't worry about those things. I just worry about what I can control, and I can control what happens when I get the ball. And if I'm put in short yard situations, like I said, I'll make the most of it. I'll do my best for the team and the organization. But, I don't make the rules, man. We might do a play action on 3rd and 1. I got to go with it. You know what I'm saying? I can't say, oh, give me the ball. I'm just trying to be, just trying to get my feet wet, man.
Chris Carter, DK.
Najee, you're no stranger to taking on lots of different roles, but you know that it's going to be a big part of what you do here for the Steelers, not just catching the ball and run the ball, but protecting Ben Roethlisberger. You got a lot of one-on-one time with Eddie Faulkner. What have been your first steps just to understand those playbook responsibilities, to take those on yourself and get that started?
You said what's your question exactly?
Well, just what have been your first steps been like, just getting to know the playbook so that you could take on all the different roles of catching, blocking, and running?
Yeah, so we do a lot of study at Bama, man. Just a lot of film work. But here, I think it has reached another level of how much time I spent just learning the plays ins and outs. Like you said, I mean, I'm about to be utilized everywhere. So they want me to know multiple positions. So, you know, it's a lot of more film work than college. But, you know, it's like, I don't have no school no more. So, I mean, you know, I'm glad off that, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I have no issue with learning, spending that much time in the film room, because, you know, it's something I like. So, you know, I'm ready for the challenge. It's something that, you know, they picked me for, and I'm glad to be in my position and have the opportunity to block for Ben, to learn all these new formations and try to help the team out as much as possible.
All right, we actually have to wrap up, so I'm going to just get one more in. Nick Farabaugh, Pittsburgh Sports Now.
Hey, Najee, you know, you over the last 2 years at Alabama, you were a guy that took strides and strides and strides. And now, obviously, that you turned that into a first-round pick. Is there something that you still feel is really a part of your game that you really need to ramp up? Obviously, you talked about soaking up information, improving. What's like one part of your game that you really want to improve before the regular season?
Yeah, well, in college, you know, the competition level is nowhere near NFL. So, you know, for me, you know, I would always tell myself I got to start back to step one. So, you know, I'm starting back to step one to all the basics now. I got to relearn and try to become better at, like, you know, being more explosive footworks, you know, having better eyes, catching the ball better, and, you know, just try to be more of an explosive player, because, like I said, the competition level and the difference between, you know, college and NFL is two different places. You know, college, sometimes you might line against people, you know, who's not going to play at the next level. And, you know, but the NFL, you're playing against the best of the best. So, you know, it's all about starting at step one and then, you know, building all the way up to then. Like you said, if you watch my college film, I mean, from freshman to senior year, I think I made strides, like you said. So it's really just starting, you know, because high school, you're not going to play against the college players. And now college players, you're not going to play against the NFL players right now. So it's just every time that you're at a new pinnacle in life or like a new step, you always want to start from, for me, I want to start from step one and make my way up. Because like I said, I'm going to be playing against a lot of first rounders, you know, a lot of franchise players, all pro, Hall of Fame, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's all about being a sponge and, you know, starting from step one. So everything, really, to answer your question.
We'll start with Jenna Harnett. Go ahead, Jenna.
Quincy, just what have your first impressions been like being here in Pittsburgh, and what does it mean to you to, you know, be here and working through a rookie minicamp right now?
Really everything I expected. You know, great people around here, great organization. You know, we kind of got to hit the field a couple of times. You know, just filling out the NFL process. But yeah, I'm just excited, happy to be here. You know, ready to get to work.
Noah Strackbean.
Hey, Quincy, welcome to Pittsburgh. I hope your family's having an easy time adjusting to Steelers fan life over Ravens fans. I'm sure you know that number 48 was Bud Dupree's number for the last couple of years. He's done a lot for this defense. What do you know about him, and how do you feel about filling that number?
Yeah, I definitely watched, seen him on film, seen him on tape. You know, he's a great player. You know, but yeah, so it really, I didn't really like pick the number. It was just, you know, kind of one of the best numbers available. But I'm just excited to get to work, earn my keep around here, and see what I can do for this football team.
Joe Rudder.
What's your first impressions of, you know, making a transition from defensive end to outside linebacker and not playing with your hand on the ground?
So I stood up a lot at Temple, stood up a lot at Miami. You know, I put my hand in the dirt some, but, you know, I'm comfortable for the most part because I've done it before. You know, my position was titled defensive end, but, you know, I was doing all kind of things. I had all kind of packages, and I always stood up. So, you know, I'm comfortable. And it's just, like I said, I'm just trying to get better every day, work on a little few things, and just keep developing.
Brian Backo.
Yeah, Quincy, along those lines, you know, Mike Tomlin was just telling us here that this weekend's about getting to know some of the organizational things, culture-wise, what they do here. How can you stand out or try to impress him or the other coaches in this kind of setting?
Just getting better every day. When they say something, listening to it, showing improvement, you know, bringing energy, bringing effort, you know, those are all things that I can control. You know, knowing the playbook to the T right now, you know, I know I'll make a couple mistakes here and there, but, you know, just controlling the things that I can control, being a high character guy around the building, controlling my effort, my energy, being a good leader. You know, those are things that are well within my control.
Tim Benz.
Quincy, did you move around a lot at Miami and Temple, or did you kind of have a home right side, left side? Did they talk to you about any of those sort of details yet with the Steelers?
You know, we haven't talked about anything in detail yet. Right now it's just, you know, pretty much introductory. Getting to learn everything. You know, I'm still learning, still meeting everybody. But at Temple, you know, I moved around a lot. I moved left side, right side, 30, 5 tech, 9 tech, 7 tech. Miami, I moved around quite a bit. So I'm comfortable with moving around. You know, I can't wait to see what my role will be on this football team.
Christopher Carter.
Quincy, you showed a lot of different pass rush moves in college, you know, being able to go inside shoulder, outside shoulder as an edge rusher. But one thing the Steelers often do is they need their edge rushers to also be able to stuff the run. What kind of conversations have you had in your first couple of days of the organization about improving your work there and things that you're looking forward to showing that you can help in that department as well?
Yeah, you know, that's something I'm definitely ready to work on. You know, I wouldn't consider myself one-dimensional. You know, I could play the run. Of course, I got improvement, you know, so we've actually already started working on it, you know, so I'm just trying to get better every day, 1% every day. Like I said, I can't wait to see what the future holds.
Brooke Pryor, ESPN.
Quincy, it looked like on your Instagram that you signed your contract recently. I know that's just kind of a formality after you're drafted by the team, but what is that moment like when you finally are able to put pen to paper and formalize it?
It's definitely an exciting moment. Just like draft night was an exciting moment, but you know, the race isn't over yet. We all know how this business is. So I'm just gonna bring my hard hat every day. Continue to prove every day. Keep being a good person. You know, just try to be the best that I can, so I can stay on this football team.
All right, we'll wrap it up with one follow-up. Brian Backman.
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up on what Noah touched on earlier. What have the last few weeks been like for your family of Ravens fans? Is there a lot of Steelers gear? Is there a lot of terrible towels now in the Roche house, or are old loyalties kind of taking precedence?
Yeah, they sent me a box of terrible towels, so I passed it around to everybody. You know, I passed everybody out terrible towels, so everybody in my house got one of them. You know, I told them one step at a time, we'll get them converted.